You might be a youngin, so you might not be able to really understand the gravity of this. But if you're fake old or a '90s baby, you definitely this definitely is gonna make you hype. So this is posted by Black Millionaires page, so to them. Um, the company Blockbuster, yes, you heard it right, Blockbuster Video, filed a trademark to come back in business as a nightclub. So this is where it kind of goes a different direction. A nightclub, a bar, restaurant, and amusement park. Question mark? Yes, the owner of Blockbuster trademarked filed a new application for the trademark to use Blockbuster brand for nightclubs, restaurants, and amusement attractions. Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy in 2010 and closed most of its stores, which that might be all of them because I think there was one time a story when that was like there was like one last Blockbuster like in Alaska or like Washington, like it was somewhere in the middle of nowhere. The Blockbuster. Oh, it actually says the last Blockbuster store was located in Bend, Oregon. So yeah, it was all the way north west, and is owned by Ken and Debbie Tischer. Dish Network, which owned Blockbuster trademark, no longer grants new franchises. Dang, that sucks, dude. Because we always talk about like if you own a franchise, which one would it be? And that's kind of goes along with the question. But like, there's some franchises where you can't even like get new ones because like the franchise because like they're bankrupt and they wouldn't obviously sell. Anyway, so yeah, I think it's safe to say we all grew up with Blockbuster here. I'm not sure your level of familiarity with it goes. Not to say that you're uber young, but
I'm not that young.
what do y'all think of this move? Obviously, it's not coming back because obviously, while we all have fond nostalgic memories of Blockbuster, I think it's safe to say if just a raw video store that was selling VHSs and or renting VHSs and DVDs and movies and things like that were to really open up like that, I don't think any of us would actually attend it or be a consumer of it, patron of it, if you will. Um, but what do you think of this in general? Do you think it's kind of dope? It kind of reminds me of I think reported a story and spoke about a story where like Toys R Us came back in some fashion. I think it was like on a cruise ship or something like that. I don't remember, but I definitely was dissing Toys at the time, so maybe I don't know if I'll keep the same energy. What do y'all think of this move? Do you think it's dope? Do you think it's weak? Um, I guess we'll start there because I got a follow up question. Is your nostalgia for Blockbuster enough for you to be like, oh, this is dope, and you check out the Blockbuster bar restaurant?
Jesus Christ.
What do you in the amusement park? I don't even know what they mean. They must mean attractions at a amusement park. Like there'd be like a Blockbuster booth at like a Six Flags or something like that. Well, what do you think, Ghost? Would you go to the Blockbuster bar?
Man, this is just clearly gimmicky and trying to take advantage of people's nostalgia. Like, could you imagine? Hey, y'all want to go hit up the Blockbuster this weekend? Like, it's just no. Like, I'm not mad at them for trying, just because again, like, who knows? Maybe it does end up taking off, and people are that nostalgic for the Blockbuster that they co-sign it and it becomes super popular. But for me personally, like, it just comes off as kind of like a cash grab and kind of desperate, to be honest. Like, I can't envision any world where they would have a service that I would find uh entertaining outside of just the novelty of it being a Blockbuster, a company that I thought closed 10 years ago. So yeah, I'm not gonna give this any mind. If I see a Blockbuster nightclub or bar, I'm gonna look at it crazy and I'm gonna continue on in my day.
That's crazy. What do you mean? You'll know that if you do go to, you'll know that everybody there is like age appropriate because like it'll be our generation that leans on it more the most.
Oh, that's like one minor factor. Like, even if everyone there is like hyped off the nostalgia, after like 5 minutes, that novelty is gone. Like, what are we gonna be doing at a blockbuster nightclub or a blockbuster bar? I I just
It probably. I mean, you remember the vibe of Blockbuster. You know how it felt going through those aisles and seeing the movies. You know,
Dog, I'm not going
you
to
you
a
you get that
Blockbuster
you
bar
get
to
that
rent a
vibe.
movie.
You get that
No, I
vibe,
won't.
and you
No,
can
I
and then
won't.
you can grab a beer with your homies. What's the
Nah,
problem?
how am I gonna get the vibe if I'm not doing the thing that it was the I'm not using it for the purpose that it was created for.
Maybe they let you maybe they have a simulation. Simulation.
Oh
You
my
can rent out the thing and then go pop it in a VHS in the back and watch the movie and then you put it back on the shelf.
Nah, nah, nah. It's
Oh,
there's
and you also
there's
got to rewind it. You got to rewind it, or else you don't get your money back.
mm-mm.
Damn.
I appreciate the attempts that they're going for, but nah,
What about
nah.
yourself, Ace? Are you more sentimental? Do you think this is a dope move, or do you think you just can't bring back something like it won't have the same feeling around Lester, bringing it back to like in that capacity?
I am more sentimental. I think if they did a bar or yeah, a bar or a restaurant, I would definitely check it out if it was like
Mm.
relatively local or even in Boston or something like
Yep.
that. I would definitely check it out, and I could imagine it. I could imagine the vibe being dope. Like
Yeah.
I've been, I've been in restaurants that have like certain themes. One that's jumping out to me is there's a pizza place in Connecticut. Um, that's the Mystic Pizza, and it's like themed after this movie, Mystic Pizza. And it really feels like when you go into that restaurant and like they got the movie playing, but also just the vibe. It feels like of that time. I think it came out in the '80s, and it feels very much of that time for some reason. So, um, like this would be analogous to that for me, where it would feel like it would have that late '90s, early 2000s vibe.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I could imagine it. I could imagine it being very cool.
You must have been too young, Ghost, because they had games there too. You
Bro,
could rent games. I'm telling you,
Right,
I
that
was
was
right.
I went to Blockbuster a lot. Like I'm not that young. It was a vibe at
Did
the
your parents
time.
let you? Did your parents let you
But
have input on what was getting rented?
yeah, that's what you mean.
Man,
God, like for the time, yes, it was cool. It was enjoyable, but it ran its course. I'm
well,
good now. I'm straight.
I'm a UAs. I would definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Um,
And
but
y'all
yeah, that
go,
also
to be honest.
all right. That also leads me into my other question. You know, like I said, I think we saw this with something similar with Toys R Us. Now it's not coming back in full capacity because these businesses obviously can't survive in this current day and age and climate. But what if any franchises that have closed down? Obviously, we've lived long enough to see our store close down. Like what was the other electronic store? There was a Radio Shack.
Circuit City.
Circuit City. That I used to low
Oh,
key like Circuit.
yeah.
I used to like Circuit City more than I liked Best Buy. But Best Buy,
Right, right,
but
right,
Best Buy
right.
has definitely been able to stand the test of time. I was just talking about Sarah Dean the other day. Sears is gone.
Really?
You can't just where's the Sears? You can't just run into a Sears and do all the things that you used to get all at Sears.
Damn.
Um,
Mm.
so
So you're saying that if there was like a Sears theme nightclub at the Sears theme bar, that you'd be hyped for that too?
I'm not saying the nightclub 1-to-1, but and Sears is a weird comparison because Sears didn't necessarily have a vibe. And if you're a kid, Sears is actually kind of corny. Um,
Right, right.
the only
That
section
is
you
true.
like is the electronic gaming section. But the only thing is, I don't know why they built it like this, but the monitors were always at this wild angle. So you're playing the game, you're playing the demo of the game, and you're looking up like this, and you're literally causing neck and back trauma to your young body. But you're so engrossed in the vibe that you don't even care. But regardless, yeah, I was just talking about shit because I think I would like to take photos of. I would like to take some like professional photos, and I feel as if I don't know where you even go to do that anymore. But anyway,
Yep.
um,
Same.
so yeah, if there's any franchise, what if any franchise y'all could bring back that might have been a clothing store or a restaurant that's no longer. You know what? I think Boston Market is Well, I know one of y'all like Boston Market for some reason. I think Boston Market they got that out of here. What
Really?
if any? Well, I think we know who now. What if any? What if any franchise y'all would bring back? That y'all can think of. I'll start with you, Ghost.
I'm actually looking up franchises that have closed.
I guess it
I
would
got
be.
mine ready. I got mine ready.
Go ahead, Is.
So my first one, not necessarily for myself, but because it was the most epic kids like place to have a birthday party or something like that that I can remember. That was more specifically just for that was Discovery Zone.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
10 times like it topped Chuck E. Cheese by miles. Like just they had this crazy jungle gym area, like just super expansive. I think it had laser tag as well. But yeah, either way, it was just like tailored specifically for just being active and just having fun as a kid. So, um, but then my other one would
That's one
be,
of my low key. I don't know why it went out of business actually, or why they.
I mean, they were competing with Chuck E. Cheese's most likely.
Yeah,
There's too many Chuck E. Cheese's.
yeah.
Um,
Sorry.
um, oh yeah, and then my other one would be Kahunaville, which was a
Oh my
restaurant from day.
god. That's one. If you know, you know.
Yeah, yeah, they had like this rainforest uh theme, and they just went all out with the theme. Like you truly went in there, felt like you were in a rainforest. They had fountain with like colored fountain. They
They
had
had
all
the
type of
light show. Oh my
yep.
gosh.
And they
It
had
was
a crazy arcade too, like so much stuff in there. So yeah.
it was probably just our kid brains, but I don't remember the food not being bad either. I would say.
Yeah, yeah. I remember there was an ice cream, like a Sunday thing that I feel like a whole family shared. Like me, mom, dad, uh, Wes. Like that thing was enough for all of us. Like it was, yeah,
Yeah,
that was a
that
good
one actually
place.
hits me in my heart because I know every generation has their own like things that they're hip to and they grow up with, but like the fact that a young kid in this day and age can't experience Cornville is nuts to me. That sucks.
Yeah.
Um, you come up with something, Ghost?
I might have to go with Boston Market, bro.
Oh my
I don't.
god!
I can't think of any franchise that are
Yeah.
closed that like I really rock with.
You know you're part of the problem. You're why businesses don't last because you don't care about them. I guess you didn't care about Radio Shack, Sears.
I
Well,
mean,
Sam
it
Goody is
was
another one. The
it was like
music spot.
Which one
I
is?
kind
Sam Goody, I think that's what it was called.
That's
I
Music
don't know
store.
that.
that's some old stuff. I don't know why now.
Yeah, I might be
Sam,
too young for that.
what the hell
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that?
That's
That
a music place.
that's
Music.
always on. Oh shit!
Yeah, I all those places that are closed down, like department stores. It's like I was young enough that I was a kid and like I didn't care about any of that. Like when we had to go there, I was the opposite of hype, and I never went to any
You didn't
like
like the
that.
gaming electronic section? Sorry, I'm starting. The electronic section at Sears?
The Sears that we went to had like a really trash electronic session. To be honest, like I don't even think they let you play games. It was really bad.
I
So maybe
actually
that's why I didn't rock with it.
I actually have heard they're not all built equal. It's like some Sears had like really cruddy gaming section.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What's
Yeah,
the what was the other gaming store that wasn't GameStop? I think it started with an E.
EB Games?
Yeah, yeah, EB Games.
Oh
Dog,
my
Was that
y'all,
god.
better?
what are these old ass? I never heard of this in my life.
EB Games was low
Nah,
key hard. I
y'all,
mean,
Yeah,
y'all making this up. Like, come on now. No one
it
knows
was a
about no
franchise
EB
that
game.
rivaled the Game Shop. What was Game Shop?
I'm
That was
talking
called
about places you went to
GameStop.
once,
GameStop.
once when you were
Speaking of
young.
ones that are kid specific, there was also KB Toys.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was my
I think I
joint.
remember. I think I remember
that
Yeah.
was my joint. Yeah, I'm looking at a list myself, and I actually don't know some of these either. Freaking Family Video.
Walden Books. I always thought they were inferior to Barnes and Noble anyway. So.
Um, I look you want to steal your answer and say Coonville because I really just have a hella attachment to that one personally. But on a restaurant tip, I don't even know how national this was, or definitely was international. But if you remember, what was it called? We looked at a commercial for it not so long, well, mad long time ago at this point. The ground town.
Oh yeah, the ground round, I think it was called. Yeah.
I don't know why I liked that restaurant so much as a kid. I think because I have like just sentimental value of going. They were like my sister and my pops, but like I really have like a weird attachment to that spot.
Yeah, I did not like that spot that much.
They had
For
like
some reason, yeah. What are you saying?
they had like I don't know if this was just something I would get. They had like this little dessert where they put like Oreo crumbs and, and like a jelly worm, a gummy worm. That was my stuff. What do you mean?
I think I preferred Hometown Buffet, which was around that. I mean, near that restaurant.
Wait,
I think that's also a franchise that Loki you don't really see much anymore.
is that
Are
the
they
same thing
really?
as? No, that's different from Old Country Buffet, right?
Oh,
Is Old Country Buffet? That might be
okay.
my answer if they actually
I thought
did
they were the
close
same.
down. Oh,
I
yep,
thought
they
they were the
closed. Yep,
same.
that's my answer. Old Country Buffet. Now y'all talking about nostalgia and places you were hyped to go as a kid. Man, I mean, now I know the food probably wasn't all that, but back then, that food, all you can eat, you can
Yeah,
make
yeah.
them the root beer float Sundays or whatever you call them. Man, that was the spot. That was the spot. That's my answer.
Yo, you had to have the strat too, where you were like eyeballing them to see when they brought out the fresh the
Yep,
fresh dishes.
yep.
That's the low key unfortunate part about a lot when we talk about I guess all of these, but when it comes to restaurants specifically, like we really heavily lean on our nostalgia for like us, like our desire for our memories of it. But I feel as if our adult brain and our adult taste bud would be repulsed by a lot of
Yep,
that food.
Yeah,
yep.
that food now would put me in the hospital, but
Oh,
back
man,
then,
yeah, that's just so. I mean, just the way we evolve in ourselves within ourselves individually, that our lifetime is so crazy. Because I remember them plates and going back up, almost getting in trouble damn near for going back up so frequently. But I back then that food was hitting. Um, but yeah, ultimately, one of the stories I think we all have our franchise store or whatever that we enjoyed frequenting when we were younger for one reason or another, or at least have some level of nostalgic or sentimental value to it. I guess like that's what a podcaster would do. If you guys have any other franchises that you loved back in the day, leave it in the comment and all that jazz. But if there's nothing else, we can move on to the next topic. I can't wait to see what comes out when people have like a video of like what it looks like inside the Blockbuster. Like when people do vlogs of what the Blockbuster bars look like.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully they don't skimp on it. Like I could see them skimping as well. So if
I
they
don't
do
think
it well,
I don't think they have some of that old ass merchandise and stuff that'll really make it classic.